Hey, what's up guys? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining us on another video and another adventure. And today I think we're overdue for a good old-fashioned knife review. And today we're taking a look at this beauty right here, the Lt Wright Gen 5 knife. An awesome little blade. And you know us, we're going to put it through its paces. So of course we're going to do, what it was designed to do, some bushcraft, batoning and feathering. But at the same time, I'm very much a hunter-gatherer. So we're going to use that for this. So fingers crossed. And we got ourselves some breakfast tomorrow. So thank you for joining us. Let's get started. So before the action begins, let's get the technical specs out of the way. Now, this being an Lt Wright knife, it was made in Ohio in the United States, American made. The overall length is 10 inches. The steel is A2, and it is 1/8 inch thick with the 90-degree spine. This grind is a saber grind, though you can get a Scandi if you wish. And the handles, these broomstick handles, are made out of micarta. This is just green micarta. I'm very much a plain Jane kind of guy when it comes to knives. However, you can get different types of handles if you wish. And then, of course, like all Lt Wright knives, it comes with a JRE Industries leather sheath. Not the fanciest, but it is quality, it is functional. It does come with the loop for your ferro rod and a dangler system. I personally don't use danglers too much, so when I'm using this blade, I tend to use it like this. However, I did use this during winter, and because of my coat, this was very useful. So essentially, the Gen 5 is a larger version of the classic Lt Wright Genesis knife. Now here is my Genesis that I normally carry every day. And as you can tell, the handle is identical. It's just that the blade's a little bit longer. But usually other than that and the grind, it's about the same. So let me place its older relative right here for comparison. And normally, guys, I will just to, not a criticism on the blade, but this knife tends to be a little bit big for my tastes. Once again, not a criticism on the knife, it's just personal preference. So normally, this is the kind of knife you see me using. Something thinner. This is my Green River. So a little bit thinner, a little bit more lightweight. So check it out. It is a smaller blade compared to the Gen 5. And while we're, just showing off some knives, here's Cuervo, who's on camera, and this is the blade that he's been carrying. The Pathfinder Puko. And also a smaller knife. So the Gen 5 tends to be for somewhere, if you're a little bit more up north, or you do a lot more heavier use when it comes to abuse, such as batoning or chopping, that kind of stuff. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a chopper, but it's definitely a more robust tool than these other ones right here. Okay, so let's get started. Test number 1, we're going to take this soda bottle and we're going to turn it into a crawfish trap. Now, we already did this before years ago on another Lt Wright knife review, about 4 years ago for the Gary Wines. However, it's been a long time. We haven't done a lot of crawfish action in Junkyard Fox, so it doesn't hurt to revisit an old skill. So we're going to just break this down and then use some of the bank line and get ourselves a trap. So let's get to it. Well, she won't be winning any beauty contests, but this is functional as it gets. So the design of this trap is it's going to funnel the animal in here. The crayfish are going to be drawn to the smell of bacon, and crayfish are not picky. You could use frog guts in there, fish guts, you could use dog food, anything, and they'll go in there. And then I have the rocks to kind of anchor it down to the bottom, and they're not going to be able to escape. And I did puncture some holes in here. That way the water gets in there and they can breathe, and as well as it sinks to the bottom. And as you saw, this worked very well. Now this blade, not only is the handle comfortable in all positions, that broomstick handle, fit and finish is great, but also that spear point tip is going to be great for drilling holes. Now I could have used the awl or something like that on my Swiss Army knife, but I wanted to test out the tip there, see how well it works. Now I see a lot of channels that they'll test out a knife, they review a knife, and they're just like going like this against the stump or something, and I think that's pointless. I think it's very goofy. It's like if you're testing the brakes on your new car by purposely, driving towards a brick wall. It really doesn't help anything, but this is an actual functional form of testing because it's realistic, and it worked very well. So let's go ahead and take this to the stream, and hopefully we get lucky. So that's about it for us. We're going to check the trap in the morning. Before we call it a day, though, I wanted to show you guys something really special in this area. There's dinosaur tracks here. Let me just show you. So you see this rock wall right here? This is all fossilized from about 97 million years ago. This was just muddy ground. There's evidence to believe that this area was something like a swamp. And you can see fossilized footprints in this area. Now they're a little bit difficult to make out, through the naked eye until you actually notice. This is my favorite one right here. And if you notice, it's something like that. This animal was heading this direction. You can see 1 toe, 2 toes, 3 toes, and heading that way. There's a more subtle one in that area. And it shows to be several of them. So it could have been a pack, or it could have been a mother with her chicks just stalking this region. And because I knew that I wanted to mention this in this video, I actually brought the likely culprit with me. So this was about 97 million years ago. The theropod meat-eater dinosaur in this region would have been this baby right here. I'm sorry, I had that wrong way. This is Acrocanthosaurus atachensis. Good old Texas boy right here before the tyrannosaurs rose. This is a good 40-foot long animal, a predator, as you can tell. And these feet, this is most likely the culprit, like that. Just nature is just so wonderful, so exhilarating, and I just love that. So I wanted to just share that with you guys. We have at least 2 of them. Nice. Okay, folks, so as you saw, test number 1 was a success. Our trap worked. I haven't been able to count in here, but I would say that there's at least 5 or 6 in here, crayfish. And now, of course, we need a fire to start cooking. So today, we're going to get a little bit more hardcore than we normally get, and we're going to process this chunk of log right here. Now, you would never normally see me using my Moroconzable or my Green River for such a chunk of wood, but this being larger gives you an extra inch of cutting tool right there. There's not a doubt in my mind it'll handle this just fine. So let's get to it. I'm working with the burnt baton over here. dinner time. Okay, folks, so as you saw, tests 1 and 2 were a success, making the crawdad trap using a soda bottle. An easy trap, but as you saw, very efficient and very easy to make. This handled it beautifully, and we managed to catch 6 crayfish. That's pretty damn good. I didn't show them being dispatched out of respect and because YouTube will, demonetize this, but that handled it just fine. And then, of course, making the 1-stick fire. Now, this is an Lt Wright knife, so it's not surprising anyone, but that extra inch just, it makes it able to, take care of larger logs that I normally would not do. And it was able to baton, feather stick, and of course that famous 90-degree spine from Lt Wright knives struck that ferro rod like lightning, and we got ourselves a fire. So that leaves us to the last test. We got a fire going, we got meat, and now we need to get some foraging out here, some plants. So I did see some prickly pear cactus up the hill. I'm going to gather some, and we're going to cook that up. So we're going to be having some crayfish and cactus for breakfast. Let's get to it. So we gathered several cactus pads and we're going to process them down. You got to remove the thorns and glochids in order, to eat them. You don't want to get those thorns in your mouth or your hands. So please excuse all these flies. This is the summer of flies and sweat. So what's great about this design, the spear point cap part design, is you use the back of the blade like this to remove all those little hairs, all these little brown parts. It's a little collection of fuzz. And that fuzz is very unenjoyable to get on your fingers, or worse, your mouth, your lips, your tongue. And this swoop right here is great for that scrape. So cap part knives are great for processing cactus pads. And just so you can see in contrast, here's my usual knife, right? The Green River. But this clip point right here leaves a gap, and it's not as efficient when doing this. In fact, look at this one. This little corner at the tip. I keep trying to remove it, and it struggles, right? Because the clip point is not as conducive to what we're doing as this. So, yeah, just let's scrape this with that 90-degree spine, and then we're going to roast them over the coals a little bit to make sure that we singe off everything. And then we're going to cook them with our crawdads. Okay, so it's chow time and we gotta hurry up. Battery's low on the phone, we're overheating, it's hot, flies are destroying us, and we're out of water completely. So, gotta start making our way back to town. But let's go ahead and taste this experiment out. Cactus and crawdads, where the West meets Cajun. So let's test that out. Whoa, hot. Of course, the crayfish taste delicious. They taste like shrimp. The cactus, on the other hand, has a very citrusy taste, very lemony taste, which is odd because normally they kind of just taste like pickle, like a hot pickle. But yeah, these have very much a lemony taste. That's interesting. First time I gather cactus in this region, and yeah, that's different. But yeah, not too bad. But as you can tell, there we go. Hot. Okay, folks, so we got to pull up stakes because we are just cooking out here and we need some water. So, final thoughts on the Lt Wright Gen 5 knife. Guys, this is a really great knife. It is very simplistic. Essentially, it's just a larger version of their Genesis, and here is their classic Genesis. Same design, same handle, same blade shape. It's just a little bit longer, which gives you an extra inch of cutting tool. And that makes it a little bit tougher, I feel. A little bit more robust. It's a great little knife. As you saw, I was able to make a crawfish trap. I was able to make a one-stick fire and also do some foraging, some gathering and cleaning of cactus. So it works very well, very comfortable, quality stuff. So big thank you to Lt Wright Knives for sending this to us. We are very grateful. It is a great knife. If you like this video, guys, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and comment down below if you have any questions, comments, suggestions. Let's go ahead and get a conversation going. Also, if you're interested in purchasing one of these, I do have them in our Amazon link down below. I will also post the link for the Lt Wright Knives website if you're interested in checking out their other stuff. And that's about it. Also, happy birthday to viewer Bianca. Your boyfriend Rob told me to give you guys a shout out, so happy birthday, Bianca. And that's it for us, guys. We need some water. We're cooking. So thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Now go outside and get your boots dirty.